Hey everybody, it's WillBits. We're playing Ace Attorney, Spirit of Justice. Phoenix Wright. All of those things. Part 2 of the case. We're back. Oh, I thought we were going to be out talking in recess.
Bark, bark. Now the sweet buns have arrived. This court is back in session. I'm going to eat a delicious meat bun right here in the trial. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum.
Go on, window. Eat up. Must I?
Chomchu, nice flavor. You can really taste the sake. Go. That was delicious. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackquill, for paying for my bun.
Yes, a unique sweetness and the faint aroma of sake. Yet I hardly think that anyone could pass out from eating something like this.
What's the matter, window? You're not afraid of a tiny manju, are you?
Oh, are you scared of how many calories it has? Oh, I shouldn't. Oh, the missus is going to be so mad. I'm supposed to be on a diet. But also, she doesn't know that I'm eating these, so... You know, if you don't want it, could I perhaps...
Don't be ridiculous. A sweet little snack like this couldn't possibly... I mean, it could never. Less bleating, more eating. Witness. Fine. Whatever. See? I told you. Don't have me in the slide. We might be a little lightweight, but come on. Now what is that? Seriously, nobody can job for what? Yeah, bye. You're Owen? It looks like it worked.
Oh my! Witness, please have the court of your name and occupation.
This is the most demure breakdown I think we've ever seen.
Oh.
Huh?
Oh. My name is Owen. I'm 5.
You're 5 years old?
Am I in trouble? Please don't yell at me. Ooh.
So, he's Windows 4's personality?
I'd hardly think a child like him could have a motive to murder the victim. And even if he had a motive, could he have actually committed the murder?
That's a very good point. Owen does appear to be very timid and weak.
Ooh. It seems the defense was hoping this hidden personality would be the real killer.
I was expecting like a big brute to come out.
But now that he is standing here before us, it is clear that none of Windows' personalities can be the killer.
Where can I even go from here? Shisho. Owen, do you know something about what happened to your master?
Come on, buddy. Won't you tell Auntie Athena what happened?
With a scary lady.
I'm not scary. Look at Annie's big smile. Come on, come here, sweetie. Come on. Tell me about your master, please. Pretty please with sugar on top. Do you wanna? Oh! About your master? Oh, okay. Shisho was super nice. He always played with me. Just like a real grandpa. I love Shishio.
Athena, do you sense anything behind his words?
I sense his sadness. Sadness so pure it's heartrending, but no discord. Prosecutor Samadi is right. Owen isn't the killer.
But then, don't you find it odd?
Find what odd?
Let's review what we've learned so far. Window rearranged the Karuto cards to pin the blame on Bucky.
Well, that's because the original message implicated Owen. But Owen is only 5 years old and absolutely adores Master Tornado.
Exactly. The other three personalities also have no motive for murder. If Owen isn't the true culprit, then the person who first laid out the cards
probably wouldn't have been Master Tornado. So then, who did it?
Defense, did the appearance of Owen help you figure anything out?
Yes, Your Honor. I now know who it was that first laid out the Karuto cards.
But I thought it was the victim, right? Is that... I've been trying to pay attention. Is that not... Is this new?
No, Your Honor. I don't believe it was. The one who first arranged the Karuto cards on the table was none other than Window's fifth personality. I think it was the true killer, and I think it wasn't Window. So, and what number 3 has been dead for ages, so probably. I believe the person who laid the cards out is the very person who killed Typho Tornado.
How quickly you move on to a new target when your Owen theory proves false. You Pukunin.
I don't know what a Pukunin is, but I know I'm definitely not one. Probably, unless it's nice. If a Pukunin is a pretty girl, then you're right, I am one. But that's probably not what it means. Before you start with the sermons, why don't you hear me out?
Yes, let's hear the defense's reasoning. Please proceed, Miss Sykes. But if you are bluffing, I won't go easy on you.
I understand, Your Honor. Now then, please recall the original crime scene. Who did the Karuto cards name when the scene was discovered?
Let's see, I believe they implicated the defendant, Bucky Wet.
That's right, but we found out that the message originally read Owen 4th.
Which implicated the young boy, Owen.
Exactly, and the person who rearranged the cards was undoubtedly Window.
Window may have kept silent, but we can be sure he already knew his master was dead. His tampering with the crime scene using the TV all but proves it. I confess, I tampered with the crime scene. The reason Window rearranged the Karuto cards and moved the TV was because he saw the Owen 4th message and was convinced Owen had committed the crime.
Right on, Prosecutor Blackquill. It would seem that Owen and the other 3 personalities don't share the same memories. But really, there is no 4th personality. It's just the 3 of us in here. Window feared that Owen had killed Master Tornado, so he tried to hide Owen from us.
But it turns out Owen is but a 5-year-old child, incapable of hurting a fly, let alone his beloved master.
So naturally, the culprit must be somebody else. And this somebody else, the true killer, tried to pin the crime on Owen.
I see. That does make sense.
This is not but conjecture, composed of half-truths and fantasy. Who then do you maintain murdered the victim?
I believe Owen might know something about that.
I refuse to allow such impromptu testimony, and from a 5-year-old no less. Such a young child is incapable of producing anything coherent. We've talked to parrots and orcas and all kinds of things before. I'm pretty sure we can get testimony from a 5-year-old human.
But
your desperation is disgraceful. You should realize when it is time to let it go and...
I saw it. I saw Shisho getting... Owen, you do know something, don't you? Yeah.
Oh my, is this true? If so, we must have Owen testify immediately. Don't you agree, Prosecutor Sadbody? It's all right, Owen. Go ahead and tell us what you know.
I saw it. Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping on Shisho's face, getting it all red. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared. I passed out.
What? Knives? What?
This is eyewitness testimony from the moment of the murder. Owen, can you tell us anything else about what you saw? I was so scared. So scared. Owen! His emotions are spiraling out of control. Something must have really frightened him.
Is he all right?
His emotions are running wild because he's trying to recall something very frightening to him. I recommend a therapy session right away!
I see. Yes, please do whatever you can to help this poor boy.
Will do, Your Honor. I better find the cause of these out-of-control emotions pronto!
Alright, beepity boop. Let's, child psychology? And our emotions are going nuts!
Shisho was standing with a knife in his hand. Blood was dripping on the Shisho's face, getting it all red.
I don't think that's blood. I think that's the sauce from the...
I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out.
We're gonna probe the blood.
Yeah, blood was dripping down on the Shisho's face. Blood? I don't remember seeing any blood in the crime scene photos. Besides, the victim was standing upright. How could blood drip down onto his face?
As I expected, all we managed to obtain from this child is a tale he dreamt up.
Ugh. I guess it's a little weird for blood to drip onto the victim's face if he was standing up. Unless it dripped down from the ceiling or something? What do you think, Simon?
I don't know. Owen's one confused and upset kid right now, so who knows how accurate his memory is. Maybe it's time for that thing instead.
Huh? What thing?
That thing that you and your cohorts do. What do you call it? Rotate your thinking about? Some kind of lightheadedness? Some kind of like you shine a thing and it hits your forehead?
Oh, you mean turn your thinking around?
Yeah, whatever. It's the same thing either way.
No, it isn't. Who's ever heard of rotating your thinking? You can't just rotate your thinking. That doesn't make sense. That's stupid. You're stupid. And I mean rotate... Hey, wait a minute.
What?
You know what, Simon? In this case, I think rotate just might work perfectly after all.
Come again.
All I have to do is rotate things by 90 degrees. When he saw his master, Owen must have been lying on the floor, doing a handstand, pressed flat against the wall. Those are all hilarious, but no, he was on the floor. Owen must have been lying on the floor when he witnessed his master's murder.
What?
That's the conclusion I arrived at when I rotated my thinking by 90 degrees. Which means that all of the visuals in my matrix were off by 90 degrees.
And
This means Master Tornado was also lying on the floor, which solves another mystery.
And which mystery is that?
The mystery of how blood could have been dripping onto the victim's face. It becomes much easier to imagine how that could happen if he was lying down. Like someone bleeding onto Master Tornado from somewhere up above him. I remember now. Somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho.
Still not very happy.
So trying to recall his master's bloody killer is what spooked Owen originally. The blood that stained the victim's face red came from the person sitting on top of him. The victim was holding a knife, so he likely nicked his attacker as he was fighting back. This means his assailant was injured on their face somewhere, like the forehead perhaps.
Or the nose.
Assuming the victim and his attacker were face to face, then yes. I see. So that is what happened. But if I recall correctly, the accused has a fresh bandage on his forehead, does he not?
He does. That doesn't look good, though.
That injury of Mr. Wet's is conclusive evidence that he committed this murder.
Why?
It seems you have dug yourself into a pit you cannot crawl out of. No! Even though I figured out the reason for Owen's out-of-control emotions, all I did was raise further suspicion against my own client. What do I do now?
What's the matter? You aren't thinking of throwing in the towel, are you?
But it looks so bad for Bucky. I mean, he had motive and opportunity. Plus, he has that injury on his forehead. Your Honor, I sense the defense is finally ready to let it go and move on.
Well, Miss Sykes, I understand that you don't want to give up on your client, but I won't allow you to prolong this trial without a good reason. Well, that lawyer did her best, but all signs point to the defendant's guilt.
Maybe it's time she gave up. She tried everything she could. I really don't want to back down, but...
Silence.
Athena, are you having doubts about Bucky's innocence?
I wouldn't say that. It's just...
Do you remember what you said to Bucky earlier this morning?
You mean you believe me, ma'am? Of course, no matter what. I'll believe in you to the very end.
Were those just empty words?
Of course not. It's just that all the cards are stacked against us.
Are you still stuck on that line of thinking? Motive, opportunity, and the injury to his forehead. Is that all it takes to make you stop believing in your client? Tell me again, who are you to Bucky?
I'm his Miss Chickadee lawyer.
Then do your duty and believe in him until the very end.
I will. Simon's absolutely right. I'm Bucky's lawyer. He's depending on me.
Defense team, please, no fighting in my courtroom.
The defense is ready to resume, Your Honor. Prosecutor Blackquill was just giving me a pep talk, that's all. Thank you, prosecutor.
I didn't do it for your sake. I did it for the future of Wet Soba.
Yeah, I got it. The defense would like to now continue with Owen's therapy session.
Owen, would you be alright with that?
Okay. So, somebody was sitting up on top of Shisho, bleeding from their head. smushing something on the Shisho's face. That's funny.
What is it?
I still hear discord in Owen's voice, but I don't sense any inconsistencies between his statements and his emotions. And there don't seem to be any contradictions in his testimony.
So that's it, huh?
Did you figure something out?
Your ability to sense emotions is making you focus too much on his feelings, Athena. But there's actually something he's being very vague about in his testimony. If you can clarify what he's feeling uncertain about with some evidence, you should be able to move forward from there.
Okay, that makes sense. I'll just update the mood matrix with the new information, and then we'll be ready to go. So I just need to present some evidence on what Owen is being vague about, huh?
Okay, flip it over there.
Shisho had blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smushing something into his face. I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. So now let's see what Owen is feeling uncertain about. It should manifest as something Owen isn't being specific about.
What's the matter? Is this too tough for you?
No, I'm thinking, so stop distracting me. I think I can guess what Owen is uncertain about. I just don't know which piece of evidence will pull the info I need to the surface.
You can't solve this with a rigid thought process. Try kneading your mind as well.
Kneading my mind? I'm not soba dough, you know.
Looks like you've learned a thing or two about making soba at least.
You think? I've only been hearing about it all day today.
Well, even with that tiny bit of knowledge, you ought to be able to find your answer.
That Simon, he's figured something out again, hasn't he? And what does the soba making process have to do with what Owen is unsure about?
Alright, blood on his face and a knife in his hand. He was on the floor and somebody was smushing something into his face. So we're gonna present something. What could have been smushed into his face? Dumplings. She was feeding her dog dumplings. Was she feeding the dog dumplings because she was getting rid of evidence? Were we smashing dumplings into his face?
Objection!
What do you think, Owen? Does this piece of evidence go against the statement? It's too much too soon. It's the wrong thing at the wrong time.
No, not at all, lady. Lady? But you're technically older than me. Look, Owen, don't call me lady, okay? Oh no, now the lady's mad at me.
Miss Sykes, please don't make the witness cry.
Ha 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 ha.
It's not that funny.
Okay. Do dumplings make good smothering tools? I don't know. I've never tried to eat that many of them. Was it just the dough? The room is covered in soba flour. I actually think we're gonna present this.
Objection!
Yeah, because I think the dough was actually what was used.
Let's put a name to the thing Owen's uncertain of, shall we? By identifying the murder weapon that was used to suffocate the victim. Fortunately for us, I spy the murder weapon right here in this crime scene photo. Unfortunately for you, I spy nothing of the sort. And And the police did not spy anything of the sort during their investigation either. Pray tell, where is this murder weapon you see? You don't see it because it no longer looks the way it did when it was used as a weapon. This is what the killer pressed into Master Tornado's face.
It's the noodles.
The mystery person that Owen saw pressed soba into the victim's face, thereby suffocating him. I grow weary of your tasteless jokes. How could anyone commit murder with soft, delicate soba? The noodles would instantly fall apart if they were pressed into someone's face.
Yes, I agree.
Well, I disagree. There is a way the soba could have been used to suffocate the victim.
What? You will explain your theory at once, Miss Sykes.
To kill Master Tornado, the culprit must have smothered him with,
uncut soba dough. Just the big raw blob of...
The culprit must have used the soba before it was cut into noodles. In other words, the murder weapon was raw soba dough.
What? Order in the court. Yes, soba dough could definitely be used to suffocate someone, couldn't it?
Are you all right, Prosecutor Sabmati? I was just letting the soul of the victim know that the accused will finally face justice, thanks to the foolish lawyer before me. Huh? What are you talking about? Allow me to summarize your statements. As the accused was killing the victim, he was slashed in the face by the victim's knife. The weapon he used to suffocate the victim with was the dough in the dressing room. He then disposed of the murder weapon by cutting the soba dough into noodles.
Why, you smarmy.
Afterwards, the accused put the victim's face into the bowl of soba noodles and broth to wash off the blood that had dripped onto the victim's face from his own. And there you have it, the true sequence of events behind this foul affair. Now wait just a minute. I never once said that Mr. Wet was the culprit. Who but the accused knows how to cut dough into noodles, defense?
That's a very good point, Prosecutor Sadamadi. I heard that cutting soba dough into uniform noodles requires considerable training. But then, what about the dying message? How do you explain that? The defendant wouldn't have known about Windows' Owen personality.
Perhaps the victim was simply playing with the cards, and they hold no other meaning.
Nah.
Perhaps he spelled Owen's name in jest, sometime before his murder.
That's true. From Owen's testimony, it's clear that Master Tornado cared for the boy. It appears we've arrived at a compelling conclusion. Taken together, all these points paint a convincing picture of the defendant's guilt.
Owen, is there anything else you can tell us? It doesn't matter how small of a detail. Anything will do. Oh, you're scaring me. Oh, I'm sorry, Owen. Auntie Athena didn't mean to raise her voice. I have to be gentle with him. I can't forget he's only 5 years old. No need to be scared, okay, sweetie? Just tell us anything you can remember. Well, when I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me, bleeding from their head. Owen, you saw the killer's face? No, I did it again. So, who was it, Owen? Do you remember? I don't know who it was. I'm picking up some noise. That means there's still something to uncover in Owen's testimony. I don't know what Owen saw, but suffice to say, We are analyzing the dreams of a child. You've wasted enough of our time, Defense. Let it go and move on. No! There's still discord in Owen's heart that needs to be addressed. Therefore, I can't give in here.
Owen, do you think you can continue your testimony for us?
Okay. I'll have the new info and run an update then. Shishu had blood in his face and a knife in his hand.
Scared and surprised? That's not surprising. We've got the dough now.
He was on the floor and somebody was smushing dough into his face.
Pretty sad, pretty scary, pretty surprising.
I couldn't move at all. I was so scared I passed out. When I woke up, the person who killed Shisho was standing over me.
But seeing them made you a little happy. You did recognize them, and you were a little glad to see them. Even though you didn't really understand.
Despite witnessing the culprit's terrible crime firsthand, Owen experienced a positive feeling. One of relief? The person the witness saw was no stranger. Rather, it was the accused. Therefore, it is only natural that he felt some level of relief when he saw a familiar face. Defense in this madness, and sully your soul no more. Owen, who did you see? That nice smell. I love the smell of that perfume.
Oh. I don't think the accused is wearing any fancy perfume.
It's the smell of... You can do it. Try to remember, Owen. The smell of...
Owen!